Okay, I wanted to show, just go over some basic Mabu, or walking or legs, horse stance. Yeah, Mabu is horse, so Mabu is horse stance. Pung Ma being level horse, and every style has their own little variation, their own little preference. Yeah, so this is for Fut Gar Kuen, as I learned in Hawaii under Jiyong, under Sigung Arthur Lee, Mr. Arthur Lee. Yeah. And yeah, okay. So traditionally, Mabu is the first thing you learn. You have to learn. That's your foundation. So the way we learned, hands here. Learn to train your hand, discipline your hands to be here at all times, resting position. Later on, you don't see this position, but it becomes such a habit to draw the hands back in a certain way, to just fold them and come back and sit on the waist, on the hip, sit right on the hip. So for our learning, our style, Sil Lum Fut Gar Kuen, right? Feet together, 45, 45, 45, and straight, and then you have to fold at the pelvic. And what is the perfect height? Again, it's a feeling, so telling you to go down that low, to have that angle, are really guidelines. Once you understand what it feels like, then those guidelines will become automatic. You see where they come from. But if you just drop one time, it's like pulling a pin out of your hinges. You just drop, you'll find that's the perfect height. Okay? For our learning, it looks like here from the side. It's not parallel. So you can train this parallel sometimes to help build up the leg strength, but if you watch, right, it's really not parallel, but you can see that right angle here, right? It's coming out here, coming out here. It's very classical. Okay? Shoulders down, elbows lined up with the knees don't go past the toes. Now, when I go down low, you might say, oh, the knees are past the toes, but watch the angle, right? It's the whole relative lineup. But in general, knees never pass the toes, and that doesn't apply just for Fut Gar, that applies for all your arts in general. Okay? So, beginner student, I would say put your hands up here, right? And don't hold them up, slide them in place, right? Use your shoulder blades, slide them in place. Feel the inside of your forearm sliding, loose but close, closed fist, not tight, just closed. Okay. Notice how the thumb and the fingers close. And you say open 1, 2, 3, 4, down. Okay. And sometimes we might be saying Jatma, get down, right? Get down on your horse. Or Jodai Mapu, go down low on your horse. Okay? And then from here you have to find. So when you're here, right, the whole body can rock together, not leaning, not hunching, not stiff like this here. But what am I doing when I'm rocking? I'm trying to find that center of balance, right about here, where I feel solid, I feel grounded. Okay? In the beginning, it's a very muscular, it's a very external kind of training, but you have to do it. If you really want to get the Kung Fu, you have to find your horse, your Mabu, and you have to open up the hips, open up the pelvic, and let these muscles train. Okay? So again, open 45, 45, 45, straight and down. Okay? Now that being said, everybody's foot is different. So for my height, my feet are a little bit big. So if I go true 45, it's really too wide for me. So over the years, I've learned to adjust my Mabu a little bit narrower on the turns. Okay? You want to train it until it becomes automatic. Okay, so Pung Ma, level horse. Okay, it's a training horse, but it does have some application. Okay? Right. So from level horse, Pung Ma or Ping Ma, we have half horse. So half horse shifting to one side, Tiuma or half horse. or Sungma. Sungma is the half horse. Tiuma, picking up and moving into it. Okay? So open 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift and turn from here. Pick this up, and you want it to clear the back leg. Okay, step up. Our front foot turns in, and then you push from the back, and you straighten out the back leg. So the front leg is turned in. If I straighten this leg out and I slide my other leg straight up, I should be in my standing horse. It shouldn't be crossed over. Okay. On paper, that means I'm tripping. I'm tripping myself. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, down, shift. In the beginning, turn all the way 45, fold into here, sit, sink your weight down, pick up the other leg. This knee picks straight up and then straight down, Sungma. Okay. From Sungma, Gung Bo Ma, you step out heel, the front foot turns in, pushing from the back, push from the back muscle, and turn to the front and straighten out the back leg. Okay? So classic bow and arrow stance. And from here, turn the back leg, sit on it, fold, Sungma, and then you can come back to Pung Ma and go back and forth. Okay. Now, the bow and arrow stance. Front leg turned in. Okay. It's about a 70-30 kind of weight shift. And the important part is heel is flat on the ground. So when your heel is flat on the ground, you should feel this calf muscle here stretching. So most people will automatically release that. So you feel that tension, you want to release it, you need to stretch it. You need to plant that heel on the ground when learning. Feel that stretch come out. Right? So you can see the stretching involved, lengthening the muscle, loosening it so it doesn't get tight. Calf muscles are really tight. Okay? Right. So level horse, half horse, full horse. Okay? And then moving between the three. So 1, 2, 3, 4, Pung Ma, shifting, Sungma, stepping up, Gung Bo Ma. Stretch that calf muscle, relax, sit, and come back. You have to practice this until your width is consistent. Now, when you pick up the leg, you want to be single weight, right? You don't want to be picking up and shifting. So you have to sink. As you sink, then this leg will free up. Okay? And then make sure calf muscle is fully extended, heels on the ground, fold into here, follow it until this leg can free up, and then you can come back and sit back. Okay? So all kind of drills, just shifting, Pung Ma, shifting, Pung Ma. Okay, learn how to sit in here. Okay, now when we slide from here, okay, instead of just shifting, that's sort of a slide. But when we slide, our lineup is about heel to toe from here. Okay, about heel to toe. And if I'm turned, right, then that's square to me, right? I'm still in my standing horse. Our standing horse, I forgot to mention, is width of underarm. Okay, so width of underarm, if I'm swinging my hands freely, just the inside of my palms are brushing. Width of shoulder, if I'm swinging my arms freely, I would hit my thighs, right? Maybe just outside of center. Okay. So width of underarm gives you that, gives you a good mobility. You don't get stuck, you don't have to shift very much. So in our drills, right, as a beginner, you can learn these static, study them, always study them in between. Okay? Hold them, hands can be here, hands can be here. right? You can be doing blocks same time with them. You can be doing your punches, right? Whatever, while holding the Mabu, while developing. Right? You can do these kinds of things. Right? You can do whatever you want while you're holding them, and switch. When they start to hurt, you have to try, well, not try, but you have to hold them a little bit longer. That's where that big developments come. As soon as you give up, you start all over again. Okay? It's not like lifting heavy weights. It's not that type of training. Okay? So, Seima, okay? Seima is slide. So slide, we have 45 degrees, or we can slide straight back. Okay? So to slide the front leg, you have to fold. So you can just push here and don't resist, fold. I can slide that way, or fold, I can slide straight back. Okay? So Pung Ma, half horse, right? Full horse, level horse, half horse, stepping out full horse, sliding into these horses. Okay? So from here, slide, thumb kirk, Li Ji Ma, thumb is stomping. You're using the hip muscle. Sei Ma, Tiêu Ma, or Sang Ma, Gung Bo Ma, Sang Ma, Li Ji Ma, Sei Ma, Sang Ma, Gung Bo Ma. Right? And you can keep on going or come back and stand. Okay? Do left, do right. Okay? Sei Ma, Tiêu Ma, Sei Ma, Sang Ma, Gung Bo Ma. Stand. Okay? So mix up the drills, make your own drills. Main thing, you do it. Okay? Upper body, waist is loose, pelvic joint is loose and open. Relax, don't hold up here, breathe, relax all of here. Okay. Okay. There's also shuffling. So, right, stepping up, shuffling, bringing the back leg with you, shuffling. Okay. Turning, one, turning, 1, 2, 1, 2, turning, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So shuffling, and then there's sideways shuffling. Right? So from Pung Ma, stepping out heel and turning and shifting your weight, pulling your weight and shuffling. Notice I'm looking where I'm going. And same thing, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay? So learn how to shuffle in your Mabu, sitting low, 九代 Mabu. Slide, Tiêu Ma, Sang Ma, step up, Li Ji Ma, slide, step up, Li Ji Ma, step up, turn. Okay? So when you're turning, the alignment of your heels, your feet, width of the underarm. In other words, when you're walking, even though you're up here, you have to make sure when the back leg comes up, it's the same width, right? You don't want to be crossing, right? You're unstable. You don't want to be getting wider unless you're turning, right? Then your front is different, right? Your perspective is different, okay, relative. So when you're learning, you have to know what that feels like. It's going to feel very wide. So if you're on a concrete floor, you can train where there's a line. Right? So although we say, don't look down, I always say, don't look down. And sometimes you got to look down to judge and feel, are you doing it correctly? But you don't want to be staring at the ground like this. Right? But in the beginning, if you don't do that, you don't know where it is. So right? You just look for the line, check your line up, okay. I'm doing it right, let me try the other side. Okay, but listen to what does that feel like? What does that tension feel like? Okay. Then you have to do it looking straight. Okay. And then check, if I'm crossing over, hey, don't just start again. Right? Correct myself, study it. What does it feel like? Come back. Well, make a little correction, right? Until I get it. Then do the next one. So you can put a you can put a tape on the ground, or you can put a stick on the ground. So if you have a staff is good. Right, that's your center line. So I'm going to sit, come out, turn, and I didn't touch the stick. Okay, good job for me. Do the other side. But if I cross, right, I can feel it. Oh, I don't have to look down. The stick will tell me. And if you get a longer staff, right, you can do continuous walking, sit back, roll, turn. Okay, so you can walk front, you can walk back. Okay, so basic, very basic stance, very basic Mabu. Okay. Not even looking at hand drills. Okay, it's foundational. So if you cannot walk and you cannot support yourself, your foundation is weak, your block's not going to work, right? Your grabs, punches, your upper body just cannot move independently, resting on what's below it. Okay? And once you do it and you get the strength and you get the mobility, then you need to study it further, how to make it more relaxed, how to make it root. Okay, so I have my own ideas of rooting and concepts of that, and you have to study all different kinds of things, okay? Not just one art. You listen to people, watch how they move, and learn from them, okay? Let's see. So yeah, that's the basic, right? So level horse, okay? Shifting or sliding, half horse, full horse. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Crossing horse, and then you can step up and you can slide. Okay. So the last one I'll talk about, same thing. You want to have a line on the ground, and you want to pick a point straight here and a point straight here. So the last one, no jumping, no real hands, just the legs, is learning how to turn around. So you have to turn 2 feet at once into your Mabu, okay? And you gotta stay on that center line. So if you have the tape, not a stick, because your legs are going to switch. So you have that line, and what you do is you pick a spot in front of you on 2 sides. So every time you're turning, you have to be looking at that spot. You're not traveling one way or you're not traveling the other. Okay? And what keeps you from traveling side to side is the legs have to switch. In other words, the right leg goes where the left leg is. The left leg goes where the right leg is. And then you turn. Okay? So left leg goes where the right leg is, right leg goes to the left, and you turn. Okay? I tend to call it a certain way, but when you do it one time, it's not left first or right first, it's together. You have to pick up the legs together. So let's see. So looking from the front, I can't even remember. I think I used to call step, right? Back leg, I would say back leg behind the front, step, step, right leg where the left leg was, and then turn. Okay? So right leg behind left leg goes where the right leg is, and then turn. 1, 2, turn. Now when you turn, you have to shift your weight, right? So this is my front leg. Most of my weight is in the front. When I turn, I have to shift this, so it's going to spiral up. Now this is the front leg, right? This is 70, this is 30, right? This is 70, this is 30. Okay, so you get that rhythm. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn. 1, 2, turn, 1, 2, turn, 1, 2, turn. Okay? You go faster and faster until both feet pick up. You can build the stomp. You can build the stomp in there, the thumb, so the legs will, right, not jumping up, not dipping down, just picking up the legs quickly up and down. You can hear one way I got them almost timed exactly together. The other way I tend to go papa. Okay, so that's something I need to practice and work out. But that's turning. So again, level, half, full, turning, turning, crossing, stepping up, crossing, sliding, stepping up, slide, slide, okay? And stand.